Hello, welcome to a Map Business Online video presentation. We're going to talk a little bit today just about the little things that you can do in Map Business Online to, I guess, make your maps a little bit easier to work with. You can use that little magnifying glass to kind of go in and look at an area of interest that you might have set up. Turn that off now, and you'll see I can turn on that circle, or if I did a drive time query, or if I did any sort of area query using any of these tools, I can select that circle and query all of the zip codes within that layer. That's the layer I've got turned on. And that gives me an area of interest right below zip codes. And you can see where I can go in and actually adjust some of the data that's there within my area of interest. So I could get rid of primary state, primary county. I could bring in demographic data, or maybe just place names, and get that information on the map just the way I want it. I can then export that data out into a file. So I can pull that data with all that information out into a file. Now I can go into any of these data layers here in the Map and Data tab. That Map and Data tab sits closed right there. You can open that up, and that little edit gear that pops up when I hover over any of these layers means I can edit that layer. So let's just go in and edit that layer. So we're going to go into the zip code layer, and we're going to first, let's look at the actual transparency. So I can change transparencies. I could go in and change the line thickness on the zips. I could go in and make those purple if I wanted to. If I wanted to get real crazy, I could make them pink. So I can go in and change that in whatever way I desire. And I tend to like the thinner layer for zip codes. And then I could go into the actual labels themselves, and I can actually change when those labels go up. You'll notice there's no zip codes showing up. Well, right down here under label and down at the bottom down here, I have them coming up like really zoomed in. If you zoomed all the way in using my zoom tool, I'd see them at the district level. Excuse me. And then now if I go back to that drop down and I actually set them for multi-county or even further out at North America, those zip codes start to show up. And I can change the way they look. I can make them larger and have more impact on the map view. So if I go in a little bit further and I make my area of interest really focused around my purple area, then I'll have as many zip codes as I can showing up based on the map generalization restrictions. Now, with that labeling format, I can use this tool to go into the actual label itself. 15229 there is the auto label. If it's a pop-up label that happens when I hover over a zip code, that's the custom label. I'm going to go into the auto label and I'm going to select number 1, and I'm going to go down and choose under general. That's like the general data associated with any of these zip codes in this particular map view. I can pick place name, and that is going to insert underneath each label the actual place name that's associated with that zip code, and I can make that centered as well so that it's a little bit more standardized on the map itself. Those are some things that you can do using Map Business Online to make the tool work for your particular map view, for your particular area of interest, for your particular focus. There's lots of little buttons that you can click and just adjust how that map looks. And then you can print that map out. You could save it as a large format PDF, which you can do down below here. Click Next. And go out and draw a rectangle of that map, for instance, using this Draw tab, which is now highlighted. So now I've actually got sort of a view of my map that I can bring back into the print window and go on to save that as a PDF. I have like multiple options here in terms of how I can set up that map view. I could do let's say, I guess it would be 60 by 60 for a large map if I want to, and that would save a PDF that I could then print on a plotter. So there's lots of things you can do with Map Business Online. Thanks very much. Go to mapbusinessonline.com and take our free trial.